Have you ever seen Blade Runner, or any other piece of fiction that detailed a human interacting with an AI on a much deeper scale than we are today, and just couldn't help but be intrigued by it? Well, maybe not, but I definitely was. A few weeks ago, I watched Blade Runner 2049 for the first time. The movie left me both overjoyed and terrified to see the worlds depicted in this movie become a reality. And despite this, my curiosity and eagerness to see these events unfold in front of me won. And I still thought. And I thought, how could I replicate the companionship Joy gave Joe in the movie, despite having very little code experience? Could I even replicate that at all? And the short answer is no, I definitely can't, but I could make a step in that direction. So that brings us back to the title of this video, how I spent the last 2 weeks making a website that lets you talk to your favorite celebrity, or any character for that matter, using AI. Alright, so how does it actually work? Let's dive into the nitty-gritty a little bit. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple. So first off, I use next.js, okay? Think of next.js as the backbone of the whole project. It's a framework that helps me build fast and efficient web applications like the one I'm currently running. It allows me to create web pages that load quickly and handle complex interactions smoothly. Imagine it as a foundation of a house, providing structure and support. Next, I've got Prisma. Prisma is like a super efficient librarian for the database. It helps me manage and interact with the database easily. With Prisma, I can define the structure of the data and perform operations like reading, updating, and deleting records without much hassle. It's like having a personal assistant who takes care of all the database-related tasks for me. Finally, I use React to build the user interface. React is a library that allows me to create reusable UI components. Think of it as a set of building blocks that we can use to construct the different parts of the application, like forms, buttons, and text areas. React makes it easy to create interactive and dynamic user interfaces. Alright, so we've gone over how everything works, or at least the basics of it. So now let's talk about how I bring the AI companions to life. So the core feature here is the chat API. Now this is where everything happens in the background. When you send a message to the AI companion, the chat API processes your input and generates a response. It currently is using OpenAI's ChatGPT 4.0 to understand your message and come up with a relevant reply. It's like having a conversation with a personalized ChatGPT who also happens to think it's Donald Trump. The chat API also handles real-life chat functionality. It manages the state of the conversation, processes user inputs, and integrates with the backends to fetch responses from the AI model. This ensures a seamless and responsive chat experiences, assuming there's no bugs, which I've had no issues with in the past. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway. Hello. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our sponsored message from Nintendo. So getting back to the topic at hand, in this section I'll be focusing on I use a web form to collect all the necessary details like the companion's name, description, instructions, and image source. But what is a web form? So a web form is an HTML element on a web page that allows users to enter and submit information. It's pretty much just a digital version of a paper form. So it can include various input fields such as text boxes, radio buttons, checkboxes, and field upload controls. When you press the submit button, The data you entered is saved to a server for processing to ensure the data is valid. I use a schema validation library called Zod. This library checks that all the required fields are filled out correctly before submission. It's like having a quality control system that ensures everything is in order before proceeding. If any of the data is filled out incorrectly, the user will be met with an error. Once the form is successfully submitted, the data is sent to the backend, where it's stored in the database using Prisma, which allows me to keep track of all the companions you make and their details. So we've looked at pretty much everything there is to look at, so all there is to do now is take a little bit of a closer look at the chat interface. So when you open up the chat, it initializes with pre-existing messages you had earlier. You can type your message into the input field and hit send. The message is then sent to the chat API, which processes it and generates a response. The response is added to the chat interface in real time, creating a smooth and interactive experience. Usually, most of the time it works. Just cut back, go, good. Okay. Anyway, after which the input field is cleared and the chat interface is refreshed to show the latest messages. It's like having a live conversation with your own AI companion. And that's it. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. I mean, this took me quite a while, to say the least. I've never edited a video to this degree. I'm not sure how you managed to listen to me talk for this long, but I do really appreciate it. If you want to try this out for yourself at all, simply go to aicompanion.dev. If you're really interested in recreating this for yourself, I actually based this off of a project made by a creator named Code with Antonio. Though I have made significant alterations to the code due to bugs, and I wanted to do most of it myself as a way to become more familiar with Prisma and React. This is my first ever time posting, so I'm not sure how much the like button helps, but I guess if you made it this far, it would not hurt. If you have any feedback at all, please do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. And yeah, I hope you have a good evening, day, whatever. Goodbye.